Hey guys, what we're going to be taking a look on is area of compound shapes now. So we have gone over all of our formulas to deal with different types of areas and how to find area of different objects. What is important is that you understand that formula. So all the formulas that we have used. So we have given you a reference sheet. It is posted on Google Classroom, and if you are struggling with memorizing all those formulas, I would make sure that you come back to that. So when we are finding the area of compound shapes, all we are doing is we are dividing up a shape that is not a regular shape, so it's not just one rectangle, one square, one triangle, one circle. And we're finding the area of each individual part, and then we'll just be adding it together. So when we teach this lesson, even when we teach it in person, this is how we teach it. So we teach it just doing examples, because you should at this point already know all of your shapes. So I'm actually going to turn my computer like this, and I'm hoping that it helps with the sound as well. Okay, so for our first problem, anytime you have compound shapes, you need to figure out what images can I divide this up into. So I look at this and I think, okay, I can make a line right across here. Kind of sort of make that nice straight line. And knowing that, I can find the area of first my top square up here, and then I'm going to find the area of my rectangle down here. And then after I have both of those areas, I'm going to go ahead and add them up. So I know to find the area of any parallelogram, it's just my length times the width. So 12 times 12 here is 144. Oops, wrong color. 144. And when I'm dealing with area, it's always squared, so that's yards squared. 6 times 24, and I have to use my handy dandy notebook. That is also 144 yards squared. So now I'm just going to add up 144 plus 144. So my area of this entire object here is 288 yards squared. 288 yards squared for that one. Taking a look at our next example, it also is two rectangles. So again, the first thing that we need to look at is how can I divide this up. Now, it does not matter if you divide it up like this, which is the way that I probably would divide it up, or if you could technically, I guess, divide it up going down that way. It doesn't matter, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it like this. So first, I'm going to find the area of this small square up here. Then I'm going to find the area of this rectangle down here, and then we'll add them up together. So 2 times 2 is 4, oh no, wrong color again, 4 centimeters squared. 4 times 2 is 8 centimeters squared. So now I'm just going to add up. 8 plus 4 gives me 12 centimeters squared for the entire area of that compound shape. All right, moving on now to number 3. This one is dealing with, again, 2 different shapes. I have a triangle as well as a rectangle. So what I need to figure out is for my triangle, remembering that the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. I can look here, and this is telling me that my height is 19, but my base, which is this measurement right here, there's not a measurement given, but I looked down here. These are the same size lines, right? Because they make up the rectangle together. So that means that up here is also 29 inches. Up here is also 29 inches. So we have 19 times 29 divided by 2. And I'm going to go ahead and do that on my calculator. 19 times 29. 551 divided by 2. I get that this area right up in here for my triangle is 275, and I'm running out of room to write this, 0.5 inches squared. And now we're going to find the area. Let me erase some of this right over here. Now we're going to find the area of our rectangle. And I'm going to find that just by multiplying my length times my width. So 10 times 29 is going to give me 290. So this measurement right here is 290 inches squared. So now I'm going to take my 275, which is the measurement of my triangle, 275.5, and I'm going to add 290 to it. And I get the area of this entire figure to be 565.5 inches squared. 565.5 inches squared there. We'll do one more of these triangles to help us out, and then turn you loose to do your practice problems. Again, guys, if you ever have any questions, just let me know. Yes. Okay, so for number 4, main thing that we need to think about, again, is how am I going to divide the shade up? So if I divide it up right down here, I can see that I have a rectangle and a triangle. Again, understanding that if this measurement is 12, that means that this measurement is 12 as well. The area of a rectangle is my base times my height. So we're going to go ahead and work with that inside here first. So the base times my height, which is going to be my 12, multiplied by my 16. Nope. 12 times 16. I get 192 feet squared. Feet squared here for that. And then for my area of my triangle, base times height divided by 2. Again, we have base times height divided by 2. With my base of 12 and my height here of 8. So it's giving me my base of 12. It's giving me my height of 8. And then we're just going to divide that by 2. So 12 times 8 divided by 2 is 48. So that means that this measurement, the area of this triangle right here, is 48 feet squared. So we're going to take our 48 feet squared and we're going to add our 192, which is our area of our rectangle, to get the entire area of this image for number 4 to be 240. Where are we at, guys? There we are. 240 feet squared. 240 feet squared. All right, guys, if you have any questions, as always, drop us an email. Compound shapes, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. Hang on, before we exit, let me see if I have any of these examples on here. Give me this guy. Let's see. Nope. I do want to touch base with you on one last thing, and I'm going to go ahead and attempt to draw this here. So if I have a rectangle, okay, and then I also have a, I go with a semicircle, and I don't know if it'll let me draw a semicircle. Okay, you can find the area of this object if you're given measurements. So let's say that this is 10 inches. We're going to say that this is 10 inches. Give me this again. This is 10 inches, so we have a square here. So you can find the area of this type of image by doing what we have been doing. So again, we're going to take this. So we're going to say that we have 2 different images here. Now, even though you can fully see this circle, let's see if I can actually transpose this up top. Hang on a second. No, it's not letting me do that. Okay, so looking at this, you can see that you actually have a semicircle right here. Right? That's just the semicircle, because this other part of the circle is actually part of our square that we have. Okay, so we're not going to necessarily be dealing with that. So we find the area of our square. 10 times 10 is 100 inches squared. So now we're left with our circle. Area of our circle, if you remember, is pi r squared. Okay, but because this is only a semicircle that is part of this object, we're going to divide this by 2 because it's not taking into account the entire circle. So for this, the circle, the other part of the circle is included with our square. So we are going to divide the area of a circle by 2. So my radius, my diameter here is 10 going across, which I'm going to get from down here, right? But so my radius is half the diameter. So again, this is just basic vocab from our circle unit. So if my diameter is 10, my radius is half of that, which is going to be 5. So my area of my circle is going to be 3.14 times 5 squared divided by 2. So if I do that on my calculator, 3.14 times 5 squared divided by 2, I get that the area of my semicircle here is 39.25 inches squared. And we're going to just add the 100 for our square that we have down here, and we are going to get 139.25 inches squared for this type of problem. So I just wanted to show you that as well, because you are going to see some of those examples dealing with those semicircles. So a semicircle is just half of a regular circle. If you guys have any questions, as always, just let us know. Thanks, guys.